Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Okay, what I want to talk about is when you make judgment on others, and you should. I know a lot of weird people say, well, you don't judge people, and all that, but you do. If you don't, you will find yourself getting in situations that aren't good. And I'm saying this through experience. As by now you realize I do a lot of things. I go places, I see people, I meet people, I spend time with people. I am a people person. And the thing is, you judge a person by his character. His character is formed through repetitive actions. This is where it comes from. So in other words, anybody, and this used to bother me a lot. There's people that are bad, and they do something good every once in a while, and that means they're supposed to be good people. And this gets mistaken a lot. A good example is Al Capone. And if you don't know your history, Al Capone was a gangster, a Chicago gangster in the 20s. And in the 20s, during the Depression, and things got really bad, he would pay for soup kitchens to feed the poor people. And because, everybody was poor during the Depression. It was tough. And many people thought, well, he was a good person because he did these good deeds. Every once in a while he would do a good deed. They would overlook the people that he killed and tortured. Now, I'll tell you, he is this small compared to the evil that's in this world. And but you don't always know it, because you see one thing. Evil people portray something. They try to act like they are moral people. And they are on certain times. That's why I say you judge people by the pattern of behavior. And if they have good times where they act moral and good, but not most of the time, that's telling you about the character of that person. And the reason I'm even talking about all this stuff is it gripes me when people that stay in their own little world, their own safe little world, they hang around their same people all the time. They don't go places. They don't know what's in the world around them. And they think that when someone makes a mistake, they should be, that tells them that the character of that person is really bad. And it's a tough one to say, because to say something like that, it's tough, because it's easy to say, well, the prisons are full of people that have made a mistake. And you'd be correct if you're talking about a pattern of behavior. And I'm not saying just because they make a mistake, okay, like you're driving a car you don't do criminal acts, you don't do none of this kind of stuff, and you're driving a car and you have an accident where you run over someone, and that would be manslaughter. That would be enough to put you in jail, in prison. And you've only done one thing. And I'm not saying it's a pattern of behavior, because there was no pattern of behavior doing wrongdoings. It just falls under shit happens. And when shit happens, you pay the price. Now, hopefully, between the affected families, the other members of the families that weren't killed, and the court, and you need to look at the pattern behavior of the person that did the driving and that did the manslaughter, and make judgments on that. That's why judges are so important. They need to understand all this stuff to make the proper judgment. I mean, yes, maybe they need to go to jail. Maybe it's already impacted them because this is something that was new to them, hurting someone, and they're going to have to live with it. They might be paying for it for the rest of their life, so you're just going to add on to it. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you have to think about on making judgment. The judge would have to make judgment on how this person is going to be punished. Okay, now, the reason I'm saying that is I have done a lot of things. Not all of these things have been moral. And but what you look for is a pattern of behavior. How many of these immoral things have I done as a habit? And I'm not only me, but I mean others, even yourself, I mean. And there's times, and I know and understand there are times when people have done this, evil deeds, and in time they see the light and they're doing their bad things, and they repent and they want to do good again. That's a good one on me. Now I will do, and the reason I'm even saying this is because it was a good one. I used to cuss like, they say, cuss like a sailor, and I repented. I said, this isn't nice. I shouldn't be doing this stuff, and then I changed my ways. Okay, that's an easy one. I'll tell you, that's one of the easiest things that I've had to deal with. But like I say, I travel. I've told stories about. I've been with very evil people. At the time, I didn't realize it, and like I say, a lot. But the work I do, I take away pain. I help people, and so not all these people are good. And there's been times when like I say, I've been around ones that aren't too good at all. I mean, these are really bad. And then once I realized, a lot of times you don't know the kind of situation you get into when you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And so you're outside your comfort zone and you experience things, and inside you it tells you, man, there's something not right here. But it may be you're out of your comfort zone, or maybe you really are getting into something that's not right, that's immoral. That's what I'm talking about. I have done that. But like I say, and sometimes I've followed through and I've done immoral acts. And like I say, an example, it would be going to war. There's a lot of it. Well, I'm not quite sure. That's really one of the tough parts about war, is trying to figure out what is immoral and moral. It's not that easy. When you get blood on you, it gets confusing what is right and what is wrong. That's why people that have been to war, it's difficult. And but I say, you have to understand that it's a pattern of behavior that you're looking for. In other words, came out of war. I didn't continue the acts that I did when I was in war. So, and there's other things. Like I say, I'm a travel companion. I go with people, and people hire me to go with them to go to strange places and all this kind of stuff. And they do weird things, and it's I find myself in strange situations. I try to filter out the people that I work for. Like I say, if it's involving drugs, I don't get involved with drugs. And so, you know, but like I say, I've gone with a guy that was addicted to gambling. And he goes out of the country when he does it's kind of like an alcoholic that goes on his binges. Well, this guy would do his gambling. And the thing is, I would go with him and let him do his gambling. And I've made stories about all this stuff. But like I say, to keep him safe, he would tell me how long he wants to gamble, and then I'd go back and get him out of there. Otherwise, a lot of times they will, like I say, I go into weird places. And I don't always realize these places I go into, how weird they are. That's why it's somebody like me that goes with these people. I don't gamble. I don't drink. I don't do wild women. I don't do all this. But some of these people do. And I have limits when I'm going with them, and I let them know, because they're going to go along with my limits. I mean, I'm not a bodyguard. I'm just there for their safety. And it's not only physical safety, but like I say, the guy lost a lot of money in gambling in 3 hours. Okay, I'm not going to allow him to stay there and lose all of his fortune. So this is why people like me go with him. Same thing when they're doing their wild women kind of thing. I've been in the places, wow, they're really strange. And they're not like some whorehouse that you would think of. I mean, this is really, really stuff, you know, and trying to figure out what's going on and how it's going. It gets like that. But I say, none of this is a pattern of behavior on my behalf. So, other than helping people, that's the pattern of behavior that you got to get out of it. But this is what I'm saying. You have to make judgments on people and understand when they are doing something as a habit that is immoral, especially unconstitutional. You know, I mean, this is where I base a lot of what I see right and wrong is based on immoral and constitutional, because I've got moral and constitutional duties and obligations. So do other people. So do you. But the people that you see, the people that you follow, your friends and all this kind of stuff, these are things you need to consider. And I say, I don't even know. I'm just going to stop there. But anyway, like I say, look for the pattern of behavior. And it's not what you can see all the time. That pattern of behavior isn't what you see, but what you hear about. If you keep hearing about this stuff, it's probably there's some truth to it. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.